Please be seated. One of the most memorable features of attending high school is that friendships are formed as students connect and peer groups are established. Some of these bonds last a lifetime. Others end shortly after they begin. Nonetheless, friendships is all a part of growing up, but finding yourself and establishing your future is a journey that takes quite a bit of work. Finding the right people to be friends with is especially hard when you come to a new school. Like a lot of you, before I arrived at Appleby, I didn't have any friends at the school. Upper 1 started, and I was thrown into the process of choosing who to be friends with and who to spend my time with. I found it pretty difficult at first. Not knowing anyone and unsure about where I fit in, it was tough. Coming from my old school, where I knew everyone and had lots of close friends, it was hard to believe that I spent a lot of my free time by myself because I was so nervous to approach new people. To think what my experience would have been if I came to Appleby when I was even younger is pretty scary. One thing that I came to realize is that connecting to a group of friends is not what defines you. What does is how you develop those friendships and the shared life experiences that make you who you are. It is less about popularity and more about a sense of comfort around being true to yourself. The problem is that everybody is constantly figuring out who they are themselves, which makes it pretty difficult to find one friend that will stick with you for life. The benefit of Appleby is that you become so involved with all these different groups of students that you develop a huge web of friends that are always there to support you. I believe that this is what happened to me, because when I look at who my friends are now, the story of how and where we met is always different. Some of the greatest experiences that I have had at Appleby were traveling on 2 international service trips, and they couldn't be any more different from each other. Prior to grade 10, I had never traveled outside of the country without my family. This lack of familiarity terrified me, and traveling to Costa Rica was beyond an adventure. The most difficult part of the trip was that almost everything about it was brand new and completely different. When you think about it, the concept is pretty scary. You are traveling to a foreign country with students and teachers that you don't really know to help people you have never met before. Add in the conditions being less than comfortable and the food being different, it was like starting from scratch all over again. However, what I discovered was that being together with these other students, doing these foreign tasks, helped us to create a bond as we overcame the challenges that were presented to us during the trip. I met some of my best friends from Appleby on that trip, all of which have made a huge impact on me. My second trip was in grade 11. As we set out for Mongolia, I had the advantage of knowing the students on my trip a lot better than I did the previous year. However, this did not remove the discomfort of traveling 18 hours to the most sparsely populated country in the world. The bonds that you build when you are working together to achieve a common goal that is so different from anything you do at school are very strong, and it's hard to imagine my life today without the great friends I made on that trip. As I look back on these trips, I see that one of the connecting factors that made both of them a success and helped me to create such great friendships was a shared sense of compassion. Somehow, as I treated the people we were helping with kindness, I sensed that all of the students working together experienced a shared sense of accomplishment and a high level of thoughtfulness towards each other. Empathy towards others is truly part of developing lasting relationships. One of my most time-consuming and rewarding experiences I have had at school is being a middle school prefect. I knew back in grade 9 that I had wanted to become a prefect, but I didn't know exactly how I was going to get there. I really didn't have a sense for what the responsibility of being a prefect was and how much caring and supporting of others you do in the role, but I sure know now. The great part is that the other prefects and I have formed a bond that is based on our leadership and constant compassion towards others. The prefects learn from each other's mistakes, and we are inspired by each other's successes. Together we are a team, and belonging to a team has helped me grow and get a better sense of who I am and what motivates me to do well. The greatest part about being middle school prefect is seeing myself 4 years ago in the middle school students, which reminds me of what it was like at that age. It is a difficult age because you are right in the middle of finding out who you are and what you're interested in and what you're good at. My advice to you in this tough time is to show compassion for each other and don't put too much of a deal on what other people think of you. Your peer groups and friends are a very important part of high school. They help establish support and a sense of belonging. They provide us with the tools to connect and make friends throughout our lives. We are enriched by shared experiences and perspectives, and it is way more fun having friends to share our experiences with than keeping them to ourselves. I started out at Appleby without many friends at all, and it really didn't feel like I was a part of the school. I was uncertain about my own interests, and I set out on a journey to find out who I really was. What I found, quite remarkably, is that I didn't just fit into one group. Like most of us, I realized that at Appleby, we connect with many people from a broad range of interests. The groups and friends that I have had made during my time at Appleby may have been through travel or leadership, but how you connect with people is going to be completely different. Your friends are going to be tailored to you. As we strive to meet new friends, we learn the talents of acceptance and not just tolerance. We discover kindness and compassion and not just shared interests. That is when we become a team. I know you all know the words to my favorite hymn, so please stand and loudly sing hymn 418, Draw the Circle Line.